What is going on, guys? Nate Gould here, and today we're doing another map breakdown. If you're not really sure what this breakdown's in reference to, in the description will be two links, one for the original map pool video and one for the playlist breaking down the other maps. So let's talk about Train today and get right into it. First of all, we obviously have a lot of CT advantages because this is a very CT-sided map. Now, first we have it's easy to control most of the map because your initial map control is this and this. You have this. The T's have to take fights, take unfavorable fights to get control of all of these things. So that's a huge advantage because they can't do shit without taking fights and committing to fights to get any map control or any information at all. And so if you play very dynamic, which is my next point, is that there's a lot of different setups on CT side. The utility can really destroy executes, and it's great for the double ops. Using those three things, it's really easy to shut down the T's trying to get early picks. For instance, say if they're hitting A lot, you can have an op here, and then two guys playing the trains like this, using utility to shut this down. And it's going to be very hard for them to get in. If they're doing a lot of pushes and you molly here and here so that they have to push into your sandwich guy, or push towards this guy here, and you have, you can put your op on ladder watching the cross out. You can do a lot of different things. Even with 4 rifles on it, you can do a lot of different setups. You can do something like this, or if you need to do 2 and 2, you can do 2 people here. You can do 1 person on top, 1 person watching upper from any of these places. You can do all sorts of different kind of setups and change your position so that when the T's come out, they're not looking the same place. Their head's on a swivel and they're readjusting their aim, but you're still initially or essentially holding the same angle. You're just watching for them to come out, and they have to look all over the place because you're moving all over the place. So it's very good because you can be very dynamic in sights and how you play, and there's so many setups you can do to watch the same angles, which is a huge advantage as a CT and not a chance you always get in every map. And it's also very good for early aggression. You can have the spawn to peek upper, you can 3-man push Ivy, you can push up close with mollies and smokes and hold this line right here and then have just an op watch Ivy so that you can keep them from doing early aggression. There's so many different things you can do. Push up close B, have the guy spool there, cover him upper while he watches the push out this way. Have it, if you have an upper Z and you're playing more standard, this guy can rotate, hold upper while you guys crossfire lower and bait for this guy. There's a lot of things you can do to catch the T's off guard, and it gives you a lot of really, really huge advantages, especially using aggression, using the double ops, and using your utility. Now, it requires a lot of teamwork in sight to do that, or else you'll leave gaps, and if you leave gaps, you're gonna probably lose those rounds. Sorry about that. The CT disadvantages is it's easy to get run down on pistol rounds. I see a lot of times teams fight if you kind of play too close here on both sides, it's really easy to get run down by pistols. You can have 2 people hold Ivy because you're just kind of spraying down one hallway, but once teams start flying out here and flying out all over these trains, if you're playing close, they can easily just trade you and flank you out pretty fast. So it'd be it's a lot, in my opinion, unless you're a pistol god, either you do a huge push B upper and just kind of take the fights that way. But if you're just playing a standard 2-3 to play close like this, it's very easy to get run down, especially if your rotates are all the way over here. They're not going to really be able to help you. You may be able to hear if they're coming fast enough, but it's very easy if you play close, unless you're hitting some god tier shots every single time. It's easy to get run down and lose your T pistols, and you don't want to lose your CT pistol. And you don't want to lose your CT pistols because you want to give them as few rounds as possible. Really, if they don't win their pistol, you should be able to hold an 11-4, 12-3 if you're a good team and if you're working together in the right way. Now, the T-side advantage is you can move the op around a lot. It's a very good T-sided map, and it's really good. The opping is good for both sides, but it's really good for holding post plants, and you can move the op around and be very dynamic with it. It doesn't really favor spawns too much, except for the connector to Z. But you can pick Z, you can pick connector, or Ivy, you can pick connector, you can pick ladder, you can hold the angle above, you can push lower. You can just move the map all over and kind of take different picks and bait out picks with utility. By someone can jump across Ivy, or you can make noise T-con so that it takes people away from Ivy, and then you just hold the angle for when they go back. Same thing, T-con, make a lot of noise Ivy, pull the second player over from back green, make a lot of noise here. Pull the attention of these 2 players, then hold an angle so that when this person jiggles back out to see what's going on, he gets picked. So you can really bait op kills on the T side if you can use your utility right and kind of figure out how the other team's playing it, get a good read on them. Um, the next point is you can use utility to take out a double up setup. The classic A smokes is kind of just like a line like this, and B is a line like this, and it cuts off all these long ranges for the ups throughout the entire map, wherever they may be. And so you're just taking rifle fights here and playing post plants. So as long as you work out your post plants and don't overpeak into the ops, and you trade the riflers on the initial, the players who are playing close to try to stop the plant and stuff, if you can get the man advantage in a double up situation, it's really hard for the two ops to retake. Like if you're in a 3v4 and two of them have ops, it's really difficult to get in, especially on train when there's so many angles. So that's where it kind of this map kind of favors the tactician, because you can use smoke executes, you can move around the op on T side, move around the ops on A sides, figure out where to get early aggression based on where they're playing, and you can really tear apart a team in this map. So this is why I think it is very tactical, but at the same time, it requires a lot of skilled aim. Your opera has to be very good, have very good reaction time to take some of these peaks and take some of these fights. And also, if you do have good aim, you can get some T rounds just by running out A and headshotting. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you're hitting shots. So this is really more like it's good for like a hybrid team. I think you can do okay on it if you're just a tactical team. And I think if you're a pure aim team, you'll kind of struggle because it requires a little bit of an understanding on how the map works and how the other team. You have to be able to get a read on the team to be able to figure out where to take these battles. Because if you're just aim reliant and running out, any team can just start using utilities in the right places at the right time and shut you down if you become too readable. So I think it really favors the tactician, or it really favors the hybrid, the tactics and the good aim. But if you only have one, I would say the tactician favors here, because using the smokes to cut out the double up, using the smokes to bait out op shots to give your team advantage on the T side, and then using how the T's are playing to change up your CT. It's kind of like Nuke, you can change up the CT a lot, but you have to have a good understanding and a good tactical mind to figure out where to put your players to optimize how they're going to do in the rounds. So I think this is a very, very good map for the tactician, but overall it still requires good aim. So if you just have one or the other, you may kind of struggle in this map. This is one of those maps where maybe like a few teams are going to be really, really dominant over on both sides. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for my advantages and disadvantages. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, like, comment, subscribe. Remember to watch the other videos in the series below. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.